welcome to another Clash of the Horns, and this is one of the most important games of the year, the head-to-head against Seattle. They're one game ahead of us when it comes to the head-to-head. Now, can we balance that out with the victory tomorrow and make sure that we put the nail in their coffin and have the Rams win their first NFC West division title since 2003. I think it can happen. The Rams are in a great position, mainly because of the offensive production that Jared Goff has been able to do, and Sean McVay, to his credit, with getting 3,000 plus yards in the air, about 22, 23 touchdowns, and I think he has about 6 interceptions. The Rams are also very healthy offensively, and defensively they have one major injury, which is Kayvon Webster. So going into the game, I think head to head we are the better team. Now we have to go in that atmosphere in Seattle, go to CenturyLink Field and win this game. Make no doubt about it, this is the most important game for the Rams in the past 10 years, because we all know Seattle has owned this division for the past 10 to 12 years, being that they've won, I think, about 8 division titles since they went into the NFC West. So they have been the top dog. So if we want to change that, we have to beat them in their house. And what a better way to do it, being that last year the Rams played Seattle, which I think was a color rush game, and that's when they clinched the division. They had no one to compete against them, and just to fast forward the next year, the Rams are in the same position to do that, but to Seattle. So this is payback, this is revenge, this is from last year's beatdown that they gave us, and hopefully we can do it to them.
Goddamn right.
Now, one thing as well, Todd Gurley has to get going in this game, and I think Todd Gurley has been phenomenal, especially being used as a receiving running back, also hybrid running back, you know, carrying the rock, but he does a good job doing both. And with Seattle having the injuries that they have in the linebacker position, in the secondary, and also defensive line, the Rams have a pretty much healthy offense. Robert Woods is coming back. All the other receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen, Jared Goff, they're all healthy. And this offense doesn't look like it's slowing down. Also, another thing, defensively, we know we can get after Russell Wilson. We just have to do it. And Russell Wilson, I'm sorry to say, is not as good as Carson Wentz from getting out of these near tackles, especially against the Rams. And the Rams know how he plays. We play him twice a year, and they know Russell Wilson and what he does. So I don't think anything is going to change. I think the only way Seattle can stay competitive against the Rams is lob it up in the air and hope their receivers catch it, to tell you the truth, because Russell is not only their only actually running threat, but he has to create things out of nothing to even move down the field. That's how bad their offensive line is. And being that the Rams front seven is one of the best at getting after the quarterback, not necessarily stopping the run, but getting after the quarterback and being, chaotic in that chaos, in the pocket, just making that pocket collapse very fast. And we saw a glimpse of that the first time they played. Now, fast forward, we didn't really know what we were going to get the rest of the year from the Rams, and now we know that this team was legit. If you're not a Rams fan, you really didn't see the Rams being a legit contender for the NFC West, let alone going to the playoffs. But now, after a couple of weeks, fast forward to this week, we are 9-4. We are one of the most disruptive front sevens in the NFL. Also, we do have a good secondary, not a little bit above the radar, or under the radar secondary, not elite, but we're very good, and we can create plays. You saw what LaMarcus Joyner can do. So if Russell Wilson wants to just throw it up in the air, there's LaMarcus Joyner, John Johnson, Tremaine Johnson as well. These guys are very good. I also think that Troy Hill might start, and he had a fairly good game. Who knows what might happen this time around? I know he's been kind of a little bit off a step, especially when he starts. But hopefully he can gain his composure, get that confidence going, and it could be a good substitute for Kayvon Webster after the injury. We go, and if you want to compare Sean McVay and what he's been doing, and also what Wade Phillips has been doing on that side of the football, and also they have done a great job keeping the Rams competitive. So I don't see this game going one-sided for Seattle. I mean, if they want to win this game, they have to compete to their very best, because not only do they have injuries, but they're also playing a very good Rams team who I think feels like they should have won the first time, and now they got to make a statement. Now it's everything that they've done this year can go to waste if they lose this game, because the NFC South has 3 teams who can possibly go to the playoffs, depending on how they end up finishing the season, which they don't have it easy as well. Don't get me wrong, things can happen. Vikings could lose. You still have the Panthers, the Saints, and also the Falcons. They're also going to be facing each other next couple of weeks, so you never know who loses, who wins. But the Rams have to win this game, because if they lose to Seattle, that may be it if the NFC South keeps its composure and actually wins most of their games, because Seattle has the 2-game streak if they beat the Rams this week. And if they don't, and the Rams have one, I think the Rams will be up 2 games. That will make Seattle 8-6, and the Rams will be 10-4. So they will be up 2 games with the tie, head-to-head game. So everything could go for a waste for the Rams. All their hard work, all their struggle this season could go to waste if they lose to Seattle. And that's something as us Rams fans don't want to see, is watching their progression, watching them play so hard, so well, and actually being in every single game. Even if they lost some games, they were always there to the very end. Seattle's a toss-up, man. They get whooped or they whoop people, so you never know. But being now that they have injuries, they still don't have a running game. Their offensive line is suspect. Russell Wilson is the only guy that can save that team, and he has been doing a very good job of doing that. I mean, he's taking risks down the field. That's when we have to capitalize. If you guys remember that game against the Cardinals, both of those games actually, where you see Palmer just kind of get the pocket collapse around Palmer and Gabbert, and they just force those throws. I can see Russell Wilson doing that in this game, especially after watching what he did against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was forcing a lot of those throws, which the secondary for the Rams is kind of good. I mean, they're in the top 10 when it comes to creating turnovers and being in the air offense. I mean, the air defense. So they can really do a good job when it comes to the air, but the running game might hurt them. But I don't see Seattle actually having a really good running game. They have maybe a game or two where they actually ran the football very well. And other than that, it's been Russell Wilson. So we have to go after Russell. We have to make sure the Rams compete and beat them in their house and put the last nail in their coffin and have the Rams emerge as the sole owners of the NFC West for the first time since 2003. I think they can do it. What do you guys think? Comment and let me know what you think. I honestly feel very confident in this game. I'm not going to get like, oh, we were going to win and destroy the Seattle Seahawks, but I feel like we have a very good shot. Everything is in our corner. The only thing the Seattle Seahawks have is they're very loud in their stadium, and it's very understandable because they've been very good in the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won the Super Bowl in the last 5 years. They've been Division West champions for about 8 seasons. They've won the NFC West, so they have a pretty good fan base because of the winning history that they currently have right now. So that said, hopefully Jared Goff keeps his composure. I know Jared, and I've seen him in Cal, and I saw the way that he started out in Cal. They were really bad in Cal. The next year they start getting better, and then by the time he became a junior, he had him having a winning record, and that's something that he's actually brought to the LA Rams. I mean, look at what happened last year. Put in a horrible spot, competed, and there were many instances where I really liked his competitive attitude, especially when he took that shot last year against Seattle, and they had to take him out because of the concussion protocol, even though he didn't have a concussion. It showed glimpses of greatness and toughness that you didn't really see in Jared Goff much last year, but he was showing it, especially when the season was ending. Now, and they had no hope. Now when the Rams have that hope of getting the NFC West title, going into playoffs, getting a winning record, you've seen him day in, day out compete, and it's been a very good thing for the LA Rams. So make sure you guys keep watching the videos, keep commenting, and I think Jared Goff's going to do a very good job against a very Seattle Seahawks defense. Other than that, you guys, thank you guys for listening, watching, and I'm out.
But this is what you guys don't realize. When this division was put together, the Rams ran this division for a long time.
That's right.
It was the greatest show on turf.
Way back then.
And it's way back then. It's going to return
like 30
back
years
now.
ago, though.
It's going to return back now. And I understand the Pete Carroll relationship that you have there. And I do agree with you. They're a tough team on the outside, so I have to agree with Reggie on that. But they're not going to win the division. They will be in the wild card.
Okay.
The Rams will win the NFC West this year, and rightfully so. I think Coach McVay, I think the young guy under the center, and Gurley, I think they have the perfect formula to lead in the way. But they cannot read the press headlines. They cannot believe what everyone's saying about them. They have to go to Seattle because they have been dominating the division for a very long time. They had to go up there this weekend and show them that they're a new team in the West to be dealt with. And especially when you got a team like this that's beat up right now. Bobby's beat up. KJ Wright's hurt.
Right.
You know, they got to look back, and they're watching the film too now. And Seattle knows this is the different Rams team. You know, all jokes aside, they've been bad for a long time, and unfortunately, I had to deal with a lot of that.
Right,
but
you ain't by your. I'm
paved
glad
the
you.
way,
I'm
though.
glad you.
Paved the way.
I'm glad
You know what I'm
because
saying?
they've been dogging me for the last 2 months, 3 months, because we've been bad
But
together.
I do want to tell the guys there right now in LA as you train, I want you to know, do not believe what you know, because when you go to Seattle, that is a different game. That 12th man is going to be loud. They're going to be cocky, and you need to go up there and prove yourself. You just don't get off the bus ready to play.